In the world of corporate espionage and identity swaps, biometrics have always held the key to truth. Ear biometrics, as unique as fingerprints, had been the hidden cornerstone of high-level security systems for years. In a society entranced by entertainment and technology, large corporations routinely hire renowned actors and entertainers to build their brands. To make it seamless, these stars often vanished from the public eye, only to re-emerge under new personas, reaping untold wealth and controlling vast empires from behind the scenes. One such case had come to light: the curious, almost mythic connection between John Lennon and Apple's legendary Steve Jobs. The investigation began with a small, offhand observation by a determined investigative journalist: a strange resemblance between Cynthia Lennon and Steve Jobs' wife, Lorraine Powell Jobs. Digging deeper, ear biometric analysis provided irrefutable proof. Steve Jobs and John Lennon shared the exact same ear profile. The world gasped when the revelation spread like wildfire. If Lennon, the peace-loving, rebellious musician, had indeed died only to re-emerge as Steve Jobs, he'd ingeniously hidden behind the mask of one of the world's most visionary CEOs. For the first time, people noticed the uncanny parallels between Lennon's artistic genius and Jobs' technological prowess, both figures that altered society in profound, boundary-pushing ways. But the plot ran deeper. Before anyone could act on this shocking connection, Steve Jobs, who had been battling a public illness, passed away yet again. Many accepted it as a tragic loss, but some conspiracy theorists questioned, had he prepared for this moment too? Shortly after, another CEO took center stage: Tim Cook. Once again, ear biometrics revealed an impossible match. Tim Cook was, impossibly, yet another incarnation of Lennon. With the pattern now unmistakable, a dark theory began to emerge. Lennon, or whomever he'd become, had constructed a legacy through shifting faces, building a powerful technological empire with every new life he assumed. Now, as the questions mount, the world is left to wonder who John Lennon might become next, and what secrets he still holds in reserve. Unbeknownst to the world, John Lennon, the rebellious artist who once sang about peace and love, had amassed a fortune that would dwarf even the combined net worth of his former bandmates. While Paul, George, and Ringo continued to thrive as musical icons, none of them came close to the wealth that Lennon was quietly accumulating in the shadows. Through his resurrections as Steve Jobs and then Tim Cook, Lennon had woven himself into the very fabric of modern technology, revolutionizing how the world lived, connected, and consumed. In each new life, Lennon's wealth multiplied exponentially, not only because of his role as a CEO but through a labyrinthine network of hidden investments and innovations. His influence reached far beyond music, touching every aspect of daily life through Apple's groundbreaking devices, from the first iPod to the iPhone, and shaping the digital era itself. Secret accounts, anonymous holdings, and international trusts held his fortune in places so secure that even governments couldn't touch them. Lennon's wealth, now, was more than money, it was power. As Steve Jobs, he watched Apple become a trillion-dollar company, and even after Jobs' death, he never truly left the empire he'd built. With his re-emergence as Tim Cook, he controlled one of the world's most powerful corporations, effortlessly guiding it to new heights. And while the world speculated and marveled at the fortunes of the surviving Beatles, John Lennon, hidden in plain sight, held wealth and influence that eclipsed them all. This was the man who had sung about imagining no possessions, who had stood for peace and a world beyond materialism. Yet he had transformed into a shadow king, wealthier than all his friends combined, playing a long game far beyond anyone's grasp, holding in his hands not just money, but the future itself.